On to the next round. Can you hit the bell real quick so we can start the round? So, Hurd, I just got a question for you. How he look at versus Santana? Did you enjoy seeing him, box? Or would you rather see the old Hurd? Now, obviously, he was working on a thing or two, but against Santana, like you said, he always waited too long. For you to put icing on the cake, you got to knock your opponent out, especially a showcase fight that you could hit every time you wanted to. Matter of fact, Hurd, every time he let his hand fly, he landed. So Santana obviously fought Charlo, Saddam Ali. That's my broski too. But at the end of the day, I mean, Hurd looked like he was 3 divisions above him. He was supposed to knock him out. What you out here looking like Mayweather for when you could be Mike Tyson versus this guy? I understand you could work on a thing or two, but past 4 rounds, he should have really turned it up on Santana at least. So what's your take on that?
That's what I think. I think at least around the 5th or 6th round, it's like you got in your work. I know you're trying to show off your defensive stuff. So one thing I want to say is that I think we argued a little bit about it. I think that he's taken a lot of punishment for somebody to be under 30 years old in his career at this stage. But that was his style initially. So I think that there was some change that needed to be, but it's really it should be just a bit of a kind of an addendum that you have to your style. Like keep what's working for you, which we saw some of that. When he wanted to turn it on, and you could still be responsive defensively and still have an aggressive go forward style because you look to catch punches, you making sure that you have good ring generalship, that you are cutting off the ring and not following because he has a bad habit of following his opponent, and then that's why he gets hot. It's like, no, you have to cut off the ring and then force him into these situations and then land your combinations or rough them up on the inside. I was not impressed at all. I don't think anybody who saw the fight was really impressed with Hurd. At one point, he was kind of dancing around the ring after he had got his opponent hurt, I think the round previously. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, make a statement, make an imprint. There's a lot of questions that we had about you entering into this fight. And I told AkHi, I was like, we came out with really no answers and more questions. so that was my assessment of it.
Yeah, and this is not to throw any shade on Hurd. We just know he could do better. And like I said, to grow your profile, especially when Showtime did a tremendous job promoting these fighters like Danny, both of the Swifts, the original Swift and, of course, Hurd, you have to show in and show out. This is your perfect time you had a minor setback for a major comeback. This is time for you to show you're going to have a major comeback. And I don't think Hurd showed that. He just showed that Hurd is back, but he could have showed more. He could have finished it and put the icing on the cake. And that's so I definitely see where you're coming from. Now, on to the next round because
y'all seen Hurd, man. What y'all thinking? Y'all think like he could implement this with his regular pressure style, and that might work out better for him? Because he still looked a little like, you could tell he was just getting used to really using this back foot jab, moving more. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think you just gotta work with what God gave you. You know what I'm saying? He definitely ain't getting better as far as defense wise. You could learn couple different tricks, but one thing for sure, defensively he's not the best at that. He's terrible. One thing he could work on is trying to get better at the gym with his skill, but you know what I'm saying, like he's not gonna change. But it's just when it comes, it all comes down to stylistic matchups. If it's a matchup where somebody is his opponent kind of fold under pressure, then Hurd gonna shine that night. But if he has an opponent that's kind of has a tunnel vision and he determined that night, he gonna have a tough time. And that's just how I see Hurd, to be honest, at 154. What you think, Professor Nail?
Yeah, I didn't. One of the things that I saw was troubling was Hurd on the back foot, and I was like, that is never a good look for him. You're not a back foot fighter, so that means just kind of like backling up and like circling. So if he would implement some kind of slick defensive moves while going forward and still keeping that pressure, then I could see that being implemented into his style, right? So sort of, I mean, not like James Toney, because James Toney used to do it against the ropes, but how James Toney was able to kind of, move his shoulders and kind of, parry punches and kind of swing back and forth. I think implement that, but you still got to go forward. That's your style. That's your bread and butter. That's what got you to the top.
Yes. And we got to keep the show rolling. Appreciate you for calling in, AkHi. Make sure you tune in next show as well.
Appreciate the love, bro.
So to wrap it up, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We had technical difficulties this episode. Obviously, we were supposed to be live yesterday, but YouTube part, they had a couple issues. I don't know what happened, but regardless of that, we are here today and we made it happen. Of course, subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about a minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these casual fans. Obviously, on Split Decision, we offer the book of the truth. So if you do open the book, that's what you get is actually, Split Decision, where we speak about the truth and nothing but the truth. So click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post or go live. Of course, to the left in the blue corner, no other than Professor Nim. To the right on the red corner is AkHi. Professor Nim, let us out.
Only thing I want to say is, if you real men out there, well, real men and women, is put your guns down, put your gloves up.
And
let's get it,
but and we
out.
AkHi. So keep in mind that, like I said, all the Canelo fans, I want y'all to call in, man. We didn't get y'all to call in today. What's up? We want all the smoke, but we want all the love as well. Appreciate all my AkHis. I don't say this enough. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I truly mean it. And may Kobe Bryant rest in peace. Gigi, his daughter. I feel sorry for his family. My condolences goes out to them. And peace, and we out.
We out.